We got some breaking news. It's just me this time, but as per our Brett Okamoto, Nasrat has actually stepped up to face Don Madge on UFC Fight Night on March 13th. Umair is also asking to be booked, but there's nothing confirmed yet. He's probably just really really wants to get back in the cage after his last win. I believe it was on the last card, the last major UFC event with Connor's card. Yeah, it was Connor's card. So maybe, I don't know why he's in Las Vegas. I think maybe partners, or he's still there. Who knows? But anyways, Nasrat is set to face Don Madge. Don Madge, he had an opponent that fell through, and Nasrat filled in that position. Last time he was supposed to be scheduled in a bout, he actually fell ill. He was supposed to face Arman Saryukian. Yes, I remember that. That was a very, very interesting matchup, but it didn't happen. He got ill. He didn't have the virus. He just fell ill. Maybe I think it was something around his weight cutting, because he was fine before like the last couple of days before the fight. But Nasrat actually came out first and said, "Fight news soon. In 4 weeks, I'm back, inshallah. Thank you for the number one." Ali Abdul Aziz, my brother, you're the best in the world. Thank you, Sean Shelby, the best matchmakers in the world. Time for a statement. So he's been in camp up until that last time where he was supposed to fight. It fell through. I guess he's all better now. We were hoping for a quick turnaround, but this is a pretty quick turnaround. But hey, I'm glad. And for his sake, this matchup is kind of good for him. It's not necessarily anybody that's Don himself is not ranked very high. This is a lightweight fight, but Don has been in the UFC for 2 fights now. He won his first fight via head kick in the second round, and then the second fight he had was against Faraz Ziam, which was a goddamn snooze fest, if you ask me. So just a little bit about Don. He has a kickboxing background. So he doesn't have the highest wrestling abilities or jiu-jitsu. So if you look at his credentials, I think he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So brown belt is not very high, but he's shown in his fight against T. Edwards, his first one where he knocked out his opponent, or knocked out T via head kick. He was actually very close to armbar. Like, it did look like he had it completely. It just T was just refusing to tap out. It was just kind of surprising. Like, he doesn't have the like high credentials in jiu-jitsu, but it was very surprising. He was able to snap. T was in Don's guard. So it was kind of surprising how he was able to shift his hips so fast and lock on the armbar. But he looked comfortable on the ground. He looks comfortable from the bottom. He doesn't take too much damage. He tries to parry and he crowds his opponent, so he doesn't take any damage. In his second fight, though, against Faraz, I think he recognized that Faraz probably didn't have as good as wrestling as he did, even though his wrestling himself isn't that great. And just basically would pressure him so much that he would force a clinch. They would clinch all the way until the cage, and then from there they were just hand fighting, and that's basically it until the referee broke them up. He would constantly try to go for a takedown, got it, and then the round ended, or it was very uneventful. So just to recap what Don does in the cage. So he's very good on the feet. We haven't really seen that in the UFC. We've seen his striking diversity in his first fight, where he's able to throw his kicks very, very fluidly. Like his inside leg kick is very, very quick. He's able to go to the leg, to the body, and as well the head. He's able to mix it up. The way that he caught T. Edwards with the head kick was because he constantly went to the body, where to the point where T was anticipating or like overreacting to those kicks and anticipating them to go to the body. Because of that, his hands were lower and got caught with the high kick. How does this bode for Nasrat? Well, Don, he really comes forward constantly. He has a very, very high guard. So he'll have his hands up and he'll eat shots, or he'll take as much on his arms, and then he'll return. He's very good. His delivery, his counters are very crisp. Now, it's not very much an MMA style though. It's very reminiscent of kickboxing. So if you look in kickboxing matchups, a lot of times you'll see the guys, they'll cover up and they'll wait. While they're waiting, they're taking a barrage of punches, and then they'll return with a one, or they'll return with a hook. One thing is, I'm not sure how well Nasrat does with southpaws, but Don is a southpaw. If we want to go over a game plan for Nasrat, I think if Don does constantly press forward and force a clinch, I think Nasrat is just better in the clinch. He's also better on the ground. He can very easily take down Don if he wanted to. Don's guard is very, very high. His wrestling defense is not very existent. So I think Nasrat, if he wants to, he can trade on the feet a little bit. If Don comes way too close or pushes way too forward, you can take him down and then just hold him. Stay away from the guard because his hips are good. I'm not sure if he would catch Nasrat because Nasrat he's been around very high level jiu-jitsu players that I don't think he would get caught, but there's always a chance. So I see this fight playing out where Don will press forward, they will exchange strikes, but eventually Don will press forward so much that he'll just run into a double leg takedown, get beaten up, maybe finished in the third round, I would say. But I could see this going to the decision just because of Don's ability to just stay there on the ground and just absorb strikes and just avoid getting finished. We haven't seen him lose yet in the UFC. He's lost in his MMA career before. He's lost three times. One by TKO, one by submission, and one by decision. So he's beatable. He's also 30 years old. One thing that's different as well for Nasrat is that Don is actually a taller, like a lightweight. He's 6 foot tall, so he's a lanky striker. He's not very rangy. He likes to stay really much in the pocket and exchange. So Nasrat will have his hands full. I hope they go into the game plan. He doesn't do what he did against Drew Dober, where he basically played into Drew Dober's game, where they were just in the pocket and just throwing fire at each other and seeing who gets burned first. So I hope he doesn't go through that again. I feel like he's learned from that fight. He'll go into this fight and probably beat Don. Good on Don for taking this fight on short notice. Nasrat is nothing to blink at. Like he's a viable contender in the UFC in the lightweight division. We'll see what happens in the future.